Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to EduTap. I hope I'm audible and visible, and the screen is also properly visible to you, all right? So, please, if anybody can write in the chat section that everything is fine so that I can start the session. Good afternoon, Sachin. Sachin, if you can please let me know that my voice is audible and the screen is visible to you all. Please let me know so that I can start the session. So, again, I would like to tell you all that, as you know, we have already started this ARD static series. So yesterday was class 1, today is class 2. In class 1, we have covered introduction to agriculture topic, wherein we have discussed few important facts related to agriculture and that are very important for your examination, right? So, okay, thank you so much for the confirmation. Okay, so I think everything is fine and we can start, right? So today is class 2 students. We'll be covering next important topic, that is agronomy and field crops. So this particular topic is important for your examination and there have been questions that have been asked in your examination from here, right? So we'll cover this topic in detail. Today we'll see the different type of questions and through these questions we'll try to understand the concepts, okay? Also, if you have already covered this topic, this can be a test for you, or you can test yourself how much you have learned, and if there is any problem in the concept or understanding anything, you can ask me the doubts as well. Otherwise, I'm going to explain to you everything, and today I'm going to give you the questions first, then the explanation, and then the answer, right? So I request you all to please interact, and whenever I show you the question, please once try to solve it, okay? Once read the question, read all the option, and then give me the answer, right? So with that, let's start. But before starting, I would like to tell you that we are running one-time sale. So this is basically for all the regulatory body courses that we have. We are giving you the flat 78% off. So this is the one-time sale that is running right now, and the validity is up to 20th. Okay, so today is the last day of the sale. So if you want the course and you want certain amount of discount, so this is the good opportunity for you, right? So with this, let's start. And first, let me give you the answer of yesterday question. So I have given you a question to practice yourself, right? The question was, which of the following accurately identifies a major cereal crop along its correct scientific name, right? So yesterday we learned about different crops, their scientific name, also their family, right? So if I see the options here, right answer will be option B, wheat, which is Triticum aestivum, because scientific name of wheat is Triticum aestivum. When we talk about other options, the scientific name are not correct. Barley, scientific name is Hodium vulgare, so it's not correct. For paddy rice, which is the same thing, scientific name is Oryza sativa, right? For oats, scientific name is Avena fatua, right? So that's the scientific name, and here correct answer will be wheat. So I hope everybody has joined. Okay, so we can start, right? But before starting, again, I would like to tell you about the schedule. Okay, if you are coming in today's session, so that you are well informed about what sessions are coming in future. For that, I am showing you the timetable. Yesterday there was a error in the timetable, a little bit formatting issue was there कि जो ये year है 26 27 28 इस तरीके से हो गया था. So that was a small formatting issue which few of you have mentioned, and today I have corrected it and you can see the timetable, right? So class इसी साल होगी, अगले साल नहीं होगी, right? तो ये timetable है students, and you can see that I have written all the topics here. We have tried to give you all the topics, and first 8 classes will be taken by me and then the Diksha ma'am, right? So today we are taking your class 2, which is agronomy and field crop. Tomorrow will be the farming system. Clear? Okay, so with this, let's start. So this is your question for today, first question for today. I want all of you to please first read it carefully, okay? See all the options, and then if you know the answer, please give me answer in the comment section. I'll give you the explanation and then I'll give you the answer, right? So question is, the term agronomy originates from Greek roots. Which of the following most accurately defines its literal meaning and primary function? Your options are given. Option A, agros meaning plant, nomos meaning soil, meaning managing soil scientifically. Agros meaning agriculture, nomus meaning economy, managing farm finances. Agros meaning field, nomus meaning cultivation, cultivation of plant commercially. Agros meaning field, nomus meaning management, managing farm scientifically. Agros meaning crops, nomus meaning growth, maximizing crop yield. Now I have read all the options for you. Please quickly give me the answer. And if you can recall, we have already discussed about agronomy in the previous lecture also, right? So we have discussed about different branches of agriculture, and therein I have discussed about this term agronomy. So we have discussed that this is a branch of agriculture science, right? Very good. I can see most of you have given the right answer. Very good. Okay. So very good. Vinay, Nikit, Sandeep, Mohanlal, Ramesha, very good. Aman, Akash, Akshda, Anupam, Aditya, very good, right? Chalo. Before telling you the answer, let me explain you what is this agronomy, what is the definition of agronomy for those who do not know the answer and who are new to this particular class, right? So, basically students, this agronomy is a branch of agriculture science. We have discussed this yesterday also, that agronomy is a branch of agriculture science. So, it is studied under agriculture, right? And what we study under agronomy, we have discussed yesterday that we study about field crops and their management. So basically, if we see, its main aim is to focus on how to grow crop in best possible way. So when we read about all these field crops and their management, basically the aim is, objective is that we should learn how we can grow these crops in best possible way, right? So that is your agronomy. And when we talk about this term agronomy, it has been derived from a Greek term, agros meaning field and nomus means management, okay? So as the definition says, field crops plus their management. So basically, field management is the literal meaning of term agronomy, which has been derived from a Greek word. Now, for your examination point of view, you should have the understanding of the definition of agronomy plus origin of term agronomy. So it is Greek in origin. Term agros means field, nomus means management. So if we talk about agronomy, so it is basically growing of field in best possible way. So that is the objective of agronomy. Now let's come back to the question again, and now I hope everybody must answer it, right? So yes, as I can see, all of you have given the right answer. Answer will be option D, right? So when we see option D, it says agros meaning field and nomus meaning management, managing field scientifically, right? So when we manage field scientifically, or when we read about field crops and manage the field crop scientifically, that is all which is studied under agronomy. Clear? I hope this question is clear, and it was a very easy question to answer. Now I'll give you the question number 2, which is how plantation crops fundamentally differ from garden crops in terms of cultivation scale and primary economic purpose, right? So your options are: plantation crops are grown in small nurseries for local markets, while garden crops cover vast area for global trade. Option B is plantation crops are perennial estate cultivated mainly for commercial export, whereas garden crops are intensively managed, smaller area often for direct consumption. Third option is plantation crop rely exclusively on animal harvesting cycle, while garden crops are solely perennial decorative plants. Option D is plantation crop are restricted to food and fodder production, while garden crop focuses exclusively on industrial raw material. Option E is plantation crops are grown strictly for subsistence purpose, while garden crops represent the majority of international cash crop exports, right? So I hope you all must have read all the options right now, right? And now I want everybody to please solve this question and give me the answer in the chat section. Okay. Now students, in your examination, such questions are also there where you have been given multiple statements, and you can only answer such question when you know the exact concept, right? So I request you all, whenever you read any topic, please try to understand that concept, okay? Because there are direct questions, but there are questions which are based on concepts as well. So in order to answer such question, you need to understand concept very well. Then you will answer the question in a better way, right? Okay, so yes, I can see few people have given the answer, right? So let's understand what is this plantation crop, garden crop, and things like that, right? So students, when we talk about crops in general, right? So what are crops? Crops are basically plants of similar type that are grown in a particular space, right? So in a particular area, when you see similar type of plants are grown, that is called crops, right? You cannot just go and call each and every plant as a crop, because that is not a definition of crop. Crop is when we are, we are growing crop, or we can say we are growing similar kind of plant in a certain area, that is your crop, right? Now these crops can be divided into three groups based on the scale in which this crop has been grown, right? किस scale में हम इस crop को grow कर रहे हैं, उस basis पे there can be a classification, and there is a classification, right? So we have three type of crops: garden crops, field crops, and plantation crops. ठीक है? तो ये जो classification है students, this is based on the scale, like कितने area में आप इस क्रॉप को ग्रो कर रहे हो, उस बेसिस पे ये क्लासिफिकेशन है. तो जो गार्डन क्रॉप्स होती हैं, दीज क्रॉप्स आर यूजुअली द क्रॉप्स विच आर ग्रोन इन अ वेरी स्मॉल एरिया, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू हैव द किचन गार्डन, राइट? In kitchen garden, you just grow few vegetables or few crops just for your own consumption, right? You are not growing crop for selling that, you're not growing a vegetable for selling that vegetable in the market. Your purpose is for your purpose is just your family consumption. So such crops are called garden crops, which are grown on a very small scale. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ कितने land area में आप crop को grow कर रहे हो, that is the differentiating feature, right? So garden crops are basically crops grown on a small areas, such as your vegetable, fruits, and flowers that you grow in your kitchen garden, in your backyards, okay, in your small gardens. Such crops will be called as garden crops. Now, what are field crops? Field crops, I have already explained you in your previous class that field crops are crops which are grown in field, where we need field preparation, and where, you know, the scale of field crop will be more than the garden crop, right? Rice, wheat, and this maize, you will never see these things growing in the backyard or in the kitchen garden, right? It is grown in at least hectares of land. It needs acres of land, hectares of land by the farmer, so that farmer can, if they want to, fulfill their family requirement. So growing them in a garden crop or in the scale of garden crop will not be sufficient. They require a huge land area. So that's why field crops are different than the garden crop. Now then, there are some crops which are called plantation crops. Now students, for plantation crops, like for example, let's understand this with the example of tea plantation. You might have seen, for tea plantation, a large estate is used, like a large area is used, right? आपके छोटी छोटी जगह पे या फिर फील्ड में आपके टी प्लांटेशन नहीं होते हैं, बहुत बड़ा एक लैंडस्केप होगा जहां पे आपकी पूरी टी प्लांटेशन की गई होगी. So such crops are called plantation crops, which are grown on a very large area. First of all, second differentiating feature of plantation crop is that in plantation crop, whenever you see tea plantation, the owner will not re-sow these tea plants every year. Re-sowing is not required. Once the plantation is established, then the thing that you need to do is only harvest or pluck the tea leaves. ठीक है? आप उसके बाद क्या करते हो? You seasonally, you just pluck the tea leaves, और वो plantation आपका काफी टाइम तक चलता है, राइट? बहुत सालों साल तक चलता है. आपको इसको पूरा उखाड़ के दोबारा लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. जबकि फील्ड क्रॉप्स में आपको सीजन वाइज फील्ड प्रिपरेशन की जरूरत होती है, सीड सोइंग की जरूरत होती है. गार्डन में भी अगेन बेस्ड ऑन सीजन, आप क्या ग्रो कर रहे हो, आपको फील्ड प्रिपरेशन और sowing की जरूरत होती है. So that is the difference between garden, field crop and plantation crop, right? Now I hope it's clear. Example of plantation is tea, coffee, rubber. Now let's see the question. So question was how plantation crops fundamentally differ from the garden crops, ठीक है, in terms of cultivation scale and primary economical purpose. So right answer for this question will be option B. Very good. I can see most of you have given the जितनों ने भी अटेम्प्ट किया है सबने ही आंसर सही किया है. वेरी गुड. दैट मीन्स यू हैव रेड द चैप्टर. Okay, so basically plantation crops are perennial estates cultivated mainly for commercial export. See, you never see growing tea, growing coffee, or growing rubber for the own consumption or for meeting our own requirement, right? They're always for the commercial purpose. Means farmer take them to the market or take them to the industry for the commercial purpose. Whereas garden crops are intensively managed in smaller areas, often for the direct consumption. Clear? So I hope this question is also clear to you all, right? Now you understand what is the difference between garden crop, plantation crop and field crop. Okay, let's move ahead to the next question. Okay, please do read this question and all the options and then give me the answer. The question is, wheat is a versatile crop that can serve different economic model depending on regional farming practices. Which scenario best exemplifies a subsistence farming model for wheat? Okay, your options are given: harvesting massive quantity in Punjab to supply large-scale urban flour mill, then flour mill, then cultivating hybrid varieties in Haryana specifically designed for the international export, then growing wheat on a small rural plot primarily for farmers' own family consumption, leasing large tract of land to cultivate wheat exclusively for industrial biofuel production, establishing a cooperative where multiple farm pool their wheat harvest to negotiate better market price. So what will be the answer here? Anybody? Okay, so I can see right answers coming, and let's move and understand the concept first, and then I'll give you the answer, right? Okay, so students, first we need to understand what is a crop. I have already told you, when plant of similar types are grown together at a certain place, that is called a crop. Now this crop can be grown for two purposes. Okay, there can be two purposes of growing this crop, either a commercial purpose or a subsistence purpose. So basically your crop is grown either for the subsistence purpose or for the commercial purpose. What is the meaning of subsistence and commercial, that we need to understand. So basically subsistence purpose is when farmer is growing crop for its own consumption, right? When a farmer is growing any particular crop so that he can meet his family requirement or he can fulfill the demand of his family consumption, that is the subsistence purpose, right? And when we talk about commercial purpose, so commercial purpose is basically when farmer grow these crop for selling them into the market, right? So basically you have to understand crops can be grown for the subsistence purpose or for the commercial purpose, right? So I hope now it's clear what is crops and what is the meaning of subsistence purpose and commercial purpose. Now you have understood the concept, so let's move back to the question. It says wheat is a versatile crop that can serve different economic model and depending on regional farming practice, right? Which scenario best exemplifies a subsistence farming? So subsistence farming, when it is asked to you, like कि किस scenario में ये best दिख रहा है कि ये subsistence farming का model है, so I think answer here will be option C, growing wheat on rural plot primarily for farmers own family consumption with little or no market sale. ठीक है, because that is the meaning of subsistence purpose. अगर similarly wheat एक ऐसे farming model में होता जहाँ पे it is taken to the market for the sale, then the answer would have been commercial purpose. Clear? I hope now it's clear. Let's move ahead to the next question now. Chalo. Next question for you is, cultivating pulse crop is highly beneficial for sustainable agriculture due to a specific biological mechanism. What is that mechanism? So options are, the plant's deep tap root physically break up compacted hardpan soil, improving water infiltration. Option B is, the leaves secrete a natural wax that reflect excessive sunlight, reduce overall field temperature. Third is, special bacteria present in the root nodule capture atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into form usable by the soil. And then the seed contain natural fungicidal compound that automatically sterilize the surrounding soil. Then the last option is, the rapid vegetative growth of the plant outcompetes all the native weed species without the need of herbicide. Okay. So very good. I can see most of you are giving the right answer. Very good, Sachin. Akshada, very good. Aman, Nikhit Reddy, Mohanlal and Rishabh and Sandeep. Very good. Okay? Chalo, let me explain this to you first, that what is this mechanism all about and which kind of crops have this kind of mechanism. Yes. So students, here legumes are basically the pulses crop, right? They are called legumes. So legumes has this ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen. Okay? Now, first of all, let's understand the importance of this nitrogen, why this nitrogen is required in the soil. So students, when the plant grow, plant need different kinds of nutrient for growth and development, right? And all these nutrients are absorbed by the root from the soil, right? So plant root is absorbing water and nutrient from the soil. So soil should have sufficient amount of nutrient that is required by plant, right? And one of the most important nutrient is nitrogen, right? One of the most important nutrient for plant growth and development is nitrogen. Now students, if the soil have sufficient amount of nitrogen, what will happen? Plant will grow in its full potential, right? And you will have good yield. Now there are few crops which have the ability to fix this atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. So see, there is a self-sustaining system or self-replenishing system कि वो crop अपने लिए खुद ही atmospheric nitrogen को fix कर सकती है, right? So this is the capability of all the legume crops which are also called pulses. ठीक है, तो जितनी भी आपकी दालें होती हैं, they have this ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. अब इससे क्या होता है कि when they fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, nitrogen content in the soil will increase, right? Nitrogen content in the soil will increase, and soil will have sufficient amount of nitrogen to support the plant, right? And when this soil will have sufficient nitrogen to support the plant, ultimately you will get the maximum yield. ठीक है, तो अगर लेग्यूम्स के बाद आप कोई सीरियल क्रॉप्स जैसे कि राइस ग्रो करते हो, राइस के पास ये एबिलिटी नहीं है, बट लेग्यूम ने ऑलरेडी काफी नाइट्रोजन इकट्ठा कर लिया है सॉइल में, राइट? तो नेक्स्ट क्रॉप अगर आपकी राइस होगी तो राइस के लिए भी काफी अच्छा खासा अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन विल बी इन द सॉइल, राइट? सो आप देख सकते हो दीज क्रॉप्स आर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग इन रिप्लेनिशिंग द नाइट्रोजन और इन रिप्लेनिशिंग द न्यूट्रिएंट इनटू द सॉइल, राइट? सो दिस इज द एबिलिटी ऑफ लेग्यूम्स, ये आपने याद रखना है. अब जब ये नाइट्रोजन फिक्स होता है, ये कैसे होता है, let's see that. So students, the root of these legumes have nodules. They have these nodules like structure in their roots, and in these nodules there resides a bacteria which is known as rhizobium. ठीक है, एक बैक्टीरिया है जिसका नाम है rhizobium, राइट? ये बैक्टीरिया कहाँ रहता है? लेग्यूम्स के रूट नोड्यूल्स में, और यही बैक्टीरिया है जो एटमॉस्फेरिक नाइट्रोजन को कन्वर्ट करता है प्लांट नाइट्रोजन, प्लांट यूजेबल नाइट्रोजन में, राइट? तो यही जो राइजोबियम है ये कलेक्ट करता है एटमॉस्फेरिक नाइट्रोजन को और इसको सॉइल में इसकी अवेलेबिलिटी को बढ़ाता है. क्लियर? तो आपको ये याद रखना है कि ऑल योर लेग्यूम्स हैव दिस एबिलिटी टू फिक्स एटमॉस्फेरिक नाइट्रोजन as they have a system in their root system where they have nodules in the roots, and inside these nodules resides a bacteria which is known as rhizobium, and this rhizobium collects nitrogen from the atmosphere. So what will happen? We'll have sufficient amount of nitrogen in the soil, and when we grow any other crop like rice after the legumes, the rice will also give us the good yield because it will have sufficient nitrogen to absorb from the soil, right? So that is the concept behind this. And now let's move ahead to the question. What was the question? It says cultivating pulses crop is highly beneficial for sustainable agriculture. See students, why it is beneficial for sustainable agriculture? And let me first tell you about the meaning of sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is basically agriculture which can sustain itself. Like हमें कोई न्यूट्रिएंट प्रोवाइड करने की जरूरत नहीं है. वी डोंट हैव टू प्रोवाइड एक्स्ट्रा फर्टिलाइजर, वी डोंट हैव टू प्रोवाइड एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रिएंट इनटू द सॉइल. ओके, सो व्हेन the nature itself has this ability to replenish nutrient in the soil, so such kind of system become part of sustainable agriculture. Okay, so this kind of agriculture will sustain us as well as the future generation, right? तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम resources को exploit नहीं कर रहे हैं, naturally चीजें replenish हो रही है, right? इस तरीके से agriculture को करना है कि आप अपनी requirement को पूरा करें और अपनी future generation की requirement को भी ध्यान में रखें, right? ऐसा नहीं कि सारे resources हमने ही सारे exhaust कर दिए, right? So that is the sustainable agriculture. Now when we have such system, so that will be part of sustainable agriculture obviously, right? And it is asking that what is that mechanism, right? So answer will be option C, where special bacteria present in root nodule. I have already told you the name of that special bacteria. It is rhizobium, right? It is present in the root nodule, capture atmospheric nitrogen, convert it into the usable form, right? Answer will be option C. I can see all of you have given the right answer. Great. Chalo, let's move to the next question. Please read the question. It says, what characterize what characterizes the physiological development of a biennial crop during its first year of growth, right? Your options are: it completes its entire life cycle producing flowers, setting seed, and dying before the winter frost. Then it exclusively develops a woody stem structure without producing any foliage until second year. It produces an initial flush of flower but delay seed maturation until the subsequent monsoon season. Option D is it remain completely dormant below ground as a bulb, requiring a full freeze-thaw cycle to break dormancy. It grows vegetatively, often forming a leaf rosette and fleshy taproot to store nutrient. Okay? So it is asking you regarding the physiological development of biennial crop during the first growth. Okay? Now to answer this question, students, you must know what are the development stages of plant and what is the meaning of biennial crop, right? Okay. Please let me know the answer. Okay. So I can say there is some confusion with this particular topic because all of you have given the wrong answer. Okay? So no issue. First we'll understand the concept and then I'll tell you the right answer. Okay. So students, for that, first we need to understand the life cycle of a plant, right? We need to understand what are the different stages that comes in the life cycle of a plant, right? So when we talk about a life cycle of a plant, so first stage is of seed. Okay? First stage is where we have a seed. Now you sow this seed. Second stage comes, that is of seed germination. You place this seed in the soil. This seed will absorb water from the soil and there will be some kind of certain enzyme that is present in the seed that will get activated, and due to activation of these enzymes, seed will start to germinate, right? Now once the germination start, what will happen? The leaves will come, leaves will appear, right? So initial leaves will come out of the germinated seed, and then comes the stage 4, which is the appearance of flower, right? So students, this stage where leaf, stem, root grows and without the appearance of flower, this is called as vegetative stage. Okay? This is called vegetative stage. Okay? In this stage, what will happen? Only leaves will grow, okay, and root will develop. At this point, the plant will grow to its full potential. Like all the leaves will come, all the stems are formed, all the roots are formed, right? After completing this vegetative stage comes the reproductive stage. Okay, what is this reproductive stage? In the reproductive stage, flowers is formed, right? Flower is formed in the plant. So vegetative stage will stop. After that, flower will start coming out of the plant, right? And then after the flower, the flower can get converted into fruits, right? For example, here you can see these flower has been converted into fruits, and inside these fruits we have the seed. Okay, inside the fruit we have the seed. So we'll take that seed again, that can be taken for the germination again, and your rest of the plant will die, right? So this is a complete life cycle of a plant. So if we see, major stages in this life cycle is seed. Okay, seed will germinate, then comes the vegetative phase where all your leaves, stems and roots will grow, and then comes the reproductive stage. Clear? Now students, based on this life cycle, we have three types of crops, right? So we have annual crop, biennial crop and perennial crops, right? So if any crop can complete its life cycle in one season or within a year, right, that crop will be called as annual crop. Annual means 1 year, right? So within 1 year, within one season, if any crop can complete its life cycle, that will be called as annual crop. Your examples are paddy, wheat, maize and mustard. Okay? Coming to the biennial crop. In biennial crop, see, in case of annual crop, what happens? All these cycles are completed within a year, right? But in case of biennial crops, it takes 2 years for that crop to complete the entire life cycle. Okay, for the biennial crops, it takes 2 years to complete the entire life cycle. So that's why it's called biennial crop. It needs 2 years to complete this life cycle. So in the first year, what will happen? It will only complete the vegetative phase. Okay, it will only complete the vegetative phase. So it will take 1 year for the biennial crop to come to the vegetative phase, and another year to come to the reproductive phase, and the rest of the cycle, right? It will take another 1 year for completing the reproductive phase, forming the seed, forming the, forming the fruit seeds, and the death of the plant. Okay, so that is the another, that it takes another 1 year. That's why it's called biennial. It is taking 2 years to complete the life cycle, right? So options here is, examples are sugar beet. Coming to the perennial crops. Now students, perennial crops are those crops which lives for 3 or more years, right? So if any crop can complete their life cycle more than 2 years, or it takes more than 2 years for plant to complete the life cycle, and some crops are, you might have seen that once they are grown, you don't have to replant them. They can, survive for many years. Such crops are called perennial crops. Here are examples are coconut, napier grass. So such crops are called perennial crops. Clear? Now let's come back to the question again, and I hope annual, biennial, perennial, their example, and this is clear to you, right? So the question says, what characterizes the physiological development of biennial crop during its first year of growth? Okay, you all were saying option C. So it says it produces initial flush of flower but delays seed maturation. That is not the case. It is not delaying the seed maturation. It is its stage that is once completed, then only the seed maturation will happen, right? So no delaying in seed maturation is happening here, right? So that's why it's not the right option. Okay, so right answer here will be option E. It grows vegetatively, often forming leaf rosette, fleshy taproot to store nutrient, right? And I can see you have given a right answer as a B also. So let's see what is the option B. So it exclusively develop a woody stem structure without producing any foliage until the second year. So students, again, this is not correct. It cannot be correct. Woody stem is formed once, once the plants start to mature. So after flowering also, once the flowering is done, fruit has set, then the woody stem will form. Initially during the vegetative phase, no woody stem is formed. The stem is very soft, it is very succulent, right? So that's why option B cannot be the right answer. It is not forming any woody stem, and it says without producing any foliage. So foliage is basically the term given to the leaves, or the, leaves and branches and the nodes that is formed. So foliage, that is what happening in the first stage. So again, this option is not the right answer, right? So B and C is not correct. Answer will be option E, where it says it grows vegetatively, often forming the leaf rosette and fleshy taproot to store nutrient. Clear? Okay, now I hope it is clear and the confusion is also clear, right? Chalo, let's move to the next question. Question 3. Now this is related to the concept that we have discussed just now. It says, which of the following groups of crop consist entirely of annuals, meaning they complete their full life cycle within a single growing season or a year, right? Now options have been given to you. I've already told you the option. Please do read them and then give me the answer. It says paddy, wheat, sugar beet, mustard. Option B, maize, mustard, coconut, paddy. Option C, paddy, wheat, maize, mustard. Option D, napier grass, wheat, barley, oat. Option E, sugar beet, coconut, napier grass, cotton. Okay. Please solve this question. It should be easy for you to solve, right? Because already we have discussed the examples and the concept. Very good. I can see right answers coming. Very good. Very good. Mohan, Aman, Sandeep, Raju, Sachin, Akshada, Nikit, Anupam, Sachin. Okay. So great. That means you guys are listening carefully and you are learning the concept, right? That's great. And that is the objective of these classes. So yes, answer here will be option C. So when we talk about examples of annual crops, so paddy, wheat, maize, mustard, these all are the example of annual crops. So all these crops can complete their life cycle within 1 year. And when we talk about other options, see, sugar beet is biennial crop, coconut is a perennial crop, napier grass is a perennial crop, right? Sugar beet is biennial, coconut is perennial, napier grass is perennial, right? So that's why other options are incorrect, right? So correct answer will be option C. Clear? For your examination point of view, please understand you need to learn few examples as well. Sometimes they ask questions from example directly. So please do learn examples also. Okay, coming to the next question. Kharif crops require warm, wet weather during their main growth phase and are typically sown at the onset of the monsoon. Which of the following sets represent typical Kharif crops? Again, from the example itself. So you have to tell me out of the given option which set represent the typical Kharif crop set. So option A is wheat, barley, oat, potato. Option B is cabbage, cauliflower, Bengal gram, mustard. Option C is watermelon, cucumber, bitter gourd, summer maize. D is rice, maize, castor, groundnut. E is sugarcane, sugar beet, date palm, coconut. What will be the answer? Okay, chalo. Okay, all those who know the answer, please let me know in the comment section. But before giving you the answer, let me explain you the concept of this particular question. So the question is about the Kharif crops, right? So for that, we have to understand the classification of crops based on season, right? Based on season, what how we have classified the crops. You might have often heard while reading the current affair, and again through from this question I can recall that in your examination often the MSP of Kharif crop, MSP or Rabi crop is often asked to you. So please do read those MSP. ठीक है, MSP से क्वेश्चन रहेगा एग्जाम में. तो खरीफ सीजन जो रीसेंट खरीफ सीजन की MSP है, रीसेंट खरीफ रबी सीजन की MSP रिलीज हुई है बाय द गवर्नमेंट. प्लीज डू रीड them because you can see in your past year one question has been asked from the MSP in your phase 1. ठीक है, चलो coming back to this. So students, based on season, ठीक है, किस season में हम किस crop को grow करते हैं, based on the season also we have classified the crop, right? As I have told you in the first class that each crop has different requirement. Each crop has different seasonal requirement also, right? कि हर किसी crop को आप किसी भी season में अपनी मर्जी से नहीं grow कर सकते, because every crop has different seasonal requirement, right? That is why only few crops can be grown in the Kharif season. There can be crops which can be grown only in the Rabi season, and then we have one more season that is known as Zai season. So what is this Kharif season? Kharif season is basically your monsoon season, right? So on the arrival of monsoon or before arrival of monsoon, whatever crop you grow, that is the Kharif season crop, right? So it is sown during June, July and harvested during September, October. Sowing time, harvesting time is very, very important along with the example, right? Example is rice, maize and cotton. Coming to the Rabi crop. So Rabi crop are basically the winter crop, right? So after the Kharif crop, you sow Rabi crop. So once the summer crop, this Kharif crop is also known as summer crops or monsoon crops. Once these are harvested in October, right? September, October, then you sow the Rabi season crop. So it is planted during October, November, harvested during March and April. Examples are wheat, mustard and potato. Clear? So Rabi season crop or Rabi crop are basically winter season crops. Example are mustard, wheat, potato. Please learn sowing time and harvesting time. Now coming to the Zayed crop. So see, you can see there is a time between Kharif season and Zayed season crop, right? So that time can be utilized by growing some short duration crop. So that particular season is known as Zayed season. Okay, I'm so sorry, student. Zayed crops are called as summer crops, not the Kharif crops. The Kharif crops are called monsoon crops, right? Then Rabi crops are called winter crops and Zayed crops are called summer crops, right? So students, here these are grown between Rabi and Kharif. The sowing time is February to March and harvesting is May to June, right? Example, watermelon, cucumber, okra, some short duration vegetables, some short duration pulses. They can be easily grown in the Zayed crops. Okay? I hope it's clear. I hope now you know what is Kharif crop, Rabi crop and summer crop, Zayed crop. Yes, Sandeep. Thank you for the correction. I have already corrected myself. Yes. Zayed are the summer season crop, Rabi crops are the winter season crop and Kharif season crops are monsoon crops. Clear? Okay. Chalo. Now we have understood this. Let's move ahead to the question. So question says Kharif crop require warm, wet weather during their main growth phase and are typically sown at the onset of monsoon. Which of the following represent Kharif season crops? So I can see you have given answer. So few mostly all of you have given answer as a D, and Aditya has given answer E. But let's see what is the correct answer. So correct answer is option D. okay, not E Aditya, right? So rice, maize, castor, groundnut, these all are your Kharif season crops, right? So here you can see date, palm, coconut, sugarcane. These are not Kharif season crop because they are perennial crops. See, coconut is a perennial crop, date palm is a perennial crop, sugarcane is a शुगर बीट इज अ बायनियल क्रॉप. सो जब 2 साल लग रहे हैं कंप्लीट होने में तो वो किसी एक सीजन में हम नहीं रख सकते उनको, राइट? सिमिलरली शुगर केन को मेच्योर होने में 16 to 18 मंथ्स लगते हैं. सो पर्टिकुलरली खरीफ या रबी सीजन क्रॉप नहीं हो जाती है फिर, राइट? तो जब 1 साल से ज्यादा लग रहा है तो हम किसी एक सीजन में उसको डिफाइन नहीं कर सकते, राइट? तो इसीलिए ऑप्शन ई आंसर नहीं होगा, आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन डी. ओके, क्लियर? लेट्स मूव अहेड. नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर यू. In an agronomic system, a farmer broadcasts lentil seed into a standing rice field 10 to 15 days before the rice is harvested. This practice utilizes residual soil moisture for the germination of the new crop. Which classification best describes the lentil crop in this scenario? Right? Your options are catch crop, para-utera crop, LA crop, augment crop, lake crop. Quickly give me the answer. See, this is the concept that has been asked more than 3 to 4 times in your examination, right? Though the language was different, okay, जो क्वेश्चन पूछने की लैंग्वेज है वो हर साल अलग अलग तरीके से पूछा गया है, बट आंसर हमेशा सेम रहा है. ओके, ठीक है. आई कैन सी पीपल हैव गिवन आंसर. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड फर्स्ट व्हाट आर दीज टाइप ऑफ क्रॉप्स एंड देन वी विल कम टू द आंसर हियर. ओके, फर्स्ट लेट्स डिस्कस व्हाट इज एलए क्रॉप. तो एलए क्रॉप क्या है स्टूडेंट्स? व्हेन क्रॉप्स आर ग्रोन इन बिटवीन एलेज. एंड एलेज क्या है? दीज आर द रोज ऑफ ट्री. ठीक है, जब आप ट्री की रोज लगाते हो या किसी क्रॉप की रोज लगाते हो और उसके बीच में आप क्रॉप ग्रो कर रहे हो, राइट? लाइक आपकी ये 2 रोज हैं, राइट, of some tree or shrub, and in between these 2 rows you are growing some crop that will be called as LA crops. ठीक है. Second is augment crop. Augment crop क्या होती है? They are often in between main crop cycle alongside primary crop. Augment crop basically the productivity and sustainability of the farmer. It increases the productivity of farmer. Augment crop is basically they are grown along with the main crop to increase the productivity of our main crop. ठीक है, जैसे कि बरसीम प्लस जापानीज मस्टर्ड. ओके, अगर हमारी बरसीम मेन क्रॉप है और उसके साथ हमने जापानीज मस्टर्ड ग्रो किया तो जापानीज मस्टर्ड ग्रो करने की वजह से बरसीम की जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है दैट विल इंक्रीज. सो यहाँ पे जो जापानीज मस्टर्ड है वो क्या हो जाएगी? ऑगमेंट क्रॉप हो जाएगी, राइट? क्योंकि वो मेन क्रॉप की प्रोडक्टिविटी को बढ़ा रहा है. सो दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ऑगमेंट क्रॉप. देन वी हैव कैच क्रॉप और कंटिंजेंट क्रॉप. कैच क्रॉप, कंटिंजेंट क्रॉप क्या होते हैं? बेसिकली दीज आर द फास्ट ग्रोइंग क्रॉप विच आर प्लांटेड इन बिटवीन 2 मेन क्रॉप. कभी कभी क्या होता है कि आपकी कोई मेन क्रॉप फेल होगी, लाइक आपने राइस ग्रो किया, राइस फेल हो गया, अब नेक्स्ट आपने रबी ग्रो करना है. तो रबी और खरीफ के बीच में अगर आपको वो कुछ कैच क्रॉप चाहिए या फिर आपको एक्स्ट्रा इनकम चाहिए, यू कैन क्विकली गो दिस कंटिंजेंट और कैच क्रॉप. ठीक है, टू कैच द लॉस दैट यू हैव इनकर्ड इन द प्रीवियस क्रॉप. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ कैच क्रॉप और कंटिंजेंट क्रॉप. देन कमिंग टू ले क्रॉप्स. ले क्रॉप्स क्या होती है स्टूडेंट? दीज आर बेसिकली grown for restoring the soil fertility, right? So basically यहाँ पे जो purpose होता है ले crops का is to restore soil fertility, to conserve soil, to reduce soil erosion. And इसमें क्या करते हैं? We temporarily grow grasses, legumes या mixture of grasses and legumes so that we can restore the soil fertility, right? और ये जो grasses और legumes हम grow करते हैं that is given to the livestock for feeding, right? So this type of crop is called as lay crop. एंड जहां पे भी ले क्रॉप ग्रो की जाती है उसको ले फार्मिंग कहा जाता है. ओके, देन वी हैव पेरा एंड उटेरा क्रॉप. सो इसको हम रिले क्रॉप भी कहते हैं, राइट? इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज रिले क्रॉप. वाई? बिकॉज यहाँ पे बिफोर हार्वेस्टिंग ऑफ प्रीवियस क्रॉप वी सो द सीड ऑफ नेक्स्ट क्रॉप. तो आपने राइस फॉर एग्जाम्पल ग्रो किया एंड विद इन 10-15 days you are about to harvest that rice. What you have done, you see rice has come to the maturity. Now this rice do not want any further moisture or nutrient from the soil, but still there will be some amount of moisture, some amount of nutrient which is present in the soil. So in order to make maximum out of that soil, what farmer will do? Farmer will spread or grow seed of the coming crop. तो राइस के साथ जैसे लेथायरस एक क्रॉप है जिसको ग्रो किया जाता है बिफोर द हार्वेस्टिंग ऑफ राइस, राइट. सो इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि यू कैन सी अ पार्ट ऑफ द लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ बोथ द क्रॉप इज ओवरलैपिंग. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स कॉल्ड रिले क्रॉप, राइट. कि आपने पुरानी क्रॉप को हार्वेस्ट करने से पहले नेक्स्ट क्रॉप के सीड को सो कर दिया. तो वो क्या होता है कि 10-15 डेज में आप राइस को हार्वेस्ट करने वाले थे, बट यू कैन यूटिलाइज दैट 10-15 डेज जो भी मॉइस्चर सॉइल में अवेलेबल है, वो जो सीड आप ग्रो करोगे नेक्स्ट क्रॉप का, वो सीड वो सॉइल को मॉइस्चर को एब्जॉर्ब करेगा एंड इट विल जर्मिनेट. आपको कोई इरिगेशन देने की जरूरत नहीं है. यू डोंट हैव टू गिव एनी एडिशनल मॉइस्चर, सॉरी न्यूट्रिएंट्स आल्सो, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी सॉइल में काफी मॉइस्चर और न्यूट्रिएंट प्रेजेंट रहता है. यू नो, आफ्टर सर्टेन टाइम, आफ्टर 10-15 डेज, दैट पर्टिकुलर क्रॉप जो आपकी नेक्स्ट क्रॉप है वो एक सर्टेन स्टेज पे आ जाएगी, सीडलिंग स्टेज पे आ जाएगी, एंड देन यू विल हार्वेस्ट द राइस क्रॉप. ठीक है, उसके बाद आप राइस क्रॉप को हार्वेस्ट कर देंगे एंड आपकी जो नेक्स्ट क्रॉप है दैट विल बी ऑलरेडी इन द फील्ड. ठीक है, सो दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ पेरा क्रॉप, उटेरा क्रॉप और रिले क्रॉप. और यहीं से ही बहुत ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं. तो स्टूडेंट्स, ये जो आपका क्वेश्चन था कि इन एग्रोनॉमिक सिस्टम जहाँ पे जो फार्मर है वो लेंटिल सीड को ब्रॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं 10-15 डेज बिफोर हार्वेस्टिंग ऑफ राइस, इसके लिए राइट आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन बी, दैट इज पेरा और उटेरा, या इसको रिले क्रॉप भी कहा जाता है. क्लियर? ओके, वेरी गुड. आई कैन सी ऑल ऑफ यू हैव गिवन द राइट आंसर. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following crop combination represent a competitive crop dynamic, where the plant actively compete for same light, water, and nutrient, often resulting in reduced yield? Please solve this question and do let me know answer in the comment section. ठीक है, very good. I can see again. ठीक है, many of you have given the right answer. Good. चलो, let's first understand the concept. What is the competitive crop? Okay, and what kind of crops are called competitive crops? Let's understand the concept and then I'll give you the answer. Okay, so there are three things that we need to understand, right? We need to understand three concepts. First is supplementary crop, then is competitive crop, and then is complementary crop. Okay, so students, what are supplementary crops? Basically, when crops grown together that are neither complementary nor competitive. Basically, neither do they have any competitive nature, like they are not fighting with each other for the nutrient, space, and water that is there in the soil. Neither they are supporting each other. Okay, so basically these two crops do not have any effect on each other, and they can, you know, they can coexist at the same place. That such kind of combination, crop combinations, are called supplementary crops. ठीक है, you will better understand supplementary crops once we understand competitive and complementary crops. ठीक है, तब आपको अच्छे से समझ आएगा. Competitive crops क्या होती हैं? Basically crops that are plants that are grown together which compete for the same resources. अगर दो क्रॉप आपने ग्रो की है प्लांट फील्ड में, and these crops start fighting for the nutrient, for the resources that is present in the field, what will happen? Neither of them will able to grow properly, right? तो उनमें से कोई भी क्रॉप अच्छे से फुल पोटेंशियल पे ग्रो नहीं करेगी, because they are utilizing their energy in competing with each other. So it is always advisable to the farmer that farmers should never grow two competitive crops together, because that will lead to the loss of yield. So this often reduce yield of one or both the crops, right? So competitive may be intentional for weed suppression or uni-intentional. See, competition, you know, when we talk about competition between two plants, so if the competition is between, you know, plant two crops, again that is not good. And if the competition is between the plant and the wheat plant, first we'll understand the meaning of wheat plant. So what is wheat plant? Wheat plant is the unwanted plant in the field, because apart from your main crop that is there in the field, you will see several other type of plants growing in the field. Okay, such plants which are not required by the farmer. So these plants are called as weed plants. Okay, what they are called? They are called weed plants. Now students, when competition occur between two crop, what will happen? Either, you know, either of the crop will get the benefit, right? तो या तो वीट प्लांट जीतेगा या तो आपकी क्रॉप प्लांट जीतेगी. अदरवाइज होता मोस्टली ये है कि जो वीड प्लांट्स होते हैं दे आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, ओके, वो क्योंकि बहुत हार्श कंडीशन को सर्वाइव करके दे आर सर्वाइविंग, तो इसीलिए जो वीड प्लांट्स है उससे कंपटीशन होना क्रॉप का ज़्यादा हार्मफुल है, क्योंकि वीड विल टेक ऑल द न्यूट्रिएंट एंड रिसोर्सेज फ्रॉम द फील्ड. सो वी नीड टू रिमूव दिस वीड प्लांट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. अगेन, ठीक है, व्हेन वी हैव द कॉम्पिटिटिव नेचर ऑफ टू क्रॉप्स, सच क्रॉप्स विल बी कॉल्ड एज कॉम्पिटिटिव क्रॉप, जैसे कि वीट एंड बार्ले. तो आप हमेशा याद रखो इसके लिए कि कभी भी दो सीरियल क्रॉप्स को आप साथ में ग्रो नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट grow two cereal crops together because they both will compete for the same resources. So you'll never see growing rice and maize together. You will never see wheat and barley growing together because they will compete for the same resources. Okay, because they have competitive nature. Then we have complementary crops. Complementary crops is basically two or more crops grown together where one is benefited and other remain in the field without any harm. ठीक है, तो दो क्रॉप्स हमने ग्रो की जिसमें कि एक क्रॉप को तो बेनिफिट मिल रहा है बट दूसरी क्रॉप में कोई इफेक्ट नहीं आ रहा है. सच क्रॉप विल बी कॉल्ड एज कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री क्रॉप. ठीक है, वन क्रॉप इज कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग द अदर क्रॉप, राइट? सो such crop groups will be called as complementary crop. And example here is maize and cowpea. ठीक है, so here what will happen, maize is a tall crop, right, and cowpea needs support. So cowpea will take the support of maize and they don't compete with each other. So cowpea is being benefited by taking support of maize and maize is showing no effect, right? There's no effect in the growth of maize. So these two become the complementary crop. When we talk about competitive, wheat and barley both are cereal crops, they will compete. And supplementary, I have told you, neither competitive nor complementary, they can coexist together. Maize and cucurbit is the example, right? Okay. So let's see the question. Question is, which of the following crop combination represent competitive crop dynamic, right? So competitive crop, obviously here, wheat and barley, because they both are the cereal crops, right? Any confusion till now? I don't think so. Everything is clear, I hope. If there is any confusion, please let me know in the comment section. Let's move to the next question. So next question is, in a crop rotation plan, which combination correctly pairs an exhaustive crop with a restorative crop that can replenish soil nitrogen through root nodule? So for this, we have to first understand the meaning of competitive and restorative crop. Okay? Please solve this question. Let me know the answer. After that, I'll explain you the concept and then we'll move ahead. Okay. I can see yes. Very good, Jaya. You have given the right answer. Good, Sandeep. Okay. So answer for this question is, students, option C, maize and alfalfa. Okay. Before that, let's understand the meaning of exhaustive and restorative. ठीक है, तो whatever we have discussed so far उसी से ही related है. So I have already told you about the pulses, about the legumes, right? So what legumes are doing? Legumes are basically restoring the soil fertility. I have told you that they have root nodule in the roots, and in these root nodules resides the rhizobium bacteria, which help in fixing atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, right? So what these pulses are doing, they are restoring the soil fertility. They are helping in restoring the soil fertility. And such crops which help in restoring soil fertility are called as restorative crop. ठीक है? On the other hand, exhaustive crops are those which only take nutrient from the soil and they do not contribute in restoring the fertility. They do not contribute any addition to the soil nutrition. ठीक है? तो such crop will be called as exhaustive crop. तो जितने भी आपके cereals हैं, okay, जितने भी आपके cereals हैं, they are your exhaustive crop. Rice, wheat, maize, barley, oat, all these are exhaustive crops. And जितने भी आपके pulses हैं, right, they all are restorative crops, right? Now students, if we see these combinations that we have here, right, so see, hamesha it is recommended to the farmer that farmers, if farmer want to grow two crops, farmer should go for one restorative and one exhaustive crop. ठीक है, तो अगर एक exhaustive crop आपने लगाई है तो एक restorative लगाओ, ताकि जो भी nutrient exhaustive crop draw करें soil से, that is restored by the restorative crop, right? So if we see all the combination here, maize is a cereal and alfalfa is a legume, right? It is a leguminous plant which help in restoring soil fertility. So hence this is the correct option. ठीक है? See, cowpea and soybean both are legumes. Okay, they are not the combination that is asked in your exam question. Then rice and sorghum both are cereal. Maize and wheat both are cereal. Your sugarcane, potato, again, neither of them is restorative or the exhaustive crops. Clear? I hope it's clear. Let's move to the next question. Okay, a farmer notice says stunted root growth in a sugarcane crop due to the highly compacted layer of the soil located well below the standard flow zone. Which specialized tillage operation is most appropriate to resolve this issue? Quickly give me the answer. Okay, so this is also another important concept that we need to discuss. Already we are running out of time, but just let's quickly do it, right? Okay. Anybody with the answer? So understand the question. Question is saying that a farmer noticed that there is a compact layer in the soil, okay? And he wanted to grow sugarcane. So what kind of tillage operation he must do in order to resolve this issue? Your options are deep tillage, puddling, year-round tillage, subsoiling, stubble mulch. What will be the answer? ठीक है, let's understand this concept. For let's understand what are the different types of special purpose tillage, and then I'll give you the answer. So students, see, we have discussed so many times. You might know about the primary tillage, secondary tillage, and the basic type of tillage that is there, right? Now there are some special purpose tillage. Special purpose tillage, basically, first of all, tillage is what? It is the preparation of soil for the seed sowing, right? When you prepare soil for the seed sowing, that is known as tillage. Now, when you do the soil preparation for any special purpose, that becomes your special purpose tillage, right? So there are different type of special purpose tillage. Like first is your puddling. Now, puddling is very important. It has been asked so many times in the examination. So puddling is a tillage operation, or puddling is a field preparation operation which is done for rice cultivation. Okay, if you want to grow rice, if you want to transplant or sow the seed of rice, you have to do a tillage operation which is known as puddling. Okay, so students, rice is a crop which require different set of cultivation practices. Okay, it is a crop which required huge amount of water. It is a crop which required standing water condition. So for that, this tillage operation which is known as puddling is done, right? Next we have is a deep tillage. So sometimes what can happen, you want to grow some deep rooted crop. So what you will do, you will do the tillage operation to the deeper depth of the soil, right? आप surface पे ही tillage नहीं करोगे, you will go to the deeper depth, ताकि आपकी जो deep rooted crop है, जैसे कि cotton, you can easily grow them. And क्योंकि अगर आप देखो, ये अगर soil का surface है, and if you just do the tillage operation on the surface, on the just certain depth of the soil, क्या होगा कि आपकी जो cotton crop है, for example, which is a deep rooted crop, the जो रूट सिस्टम है इस क्रॉप का, दैट विल नॉट बी एबल टू ग्रो प्रॉपरली, राइट? ये जो रूट सिस्टम है ये ग्रो नहीं कर पाएगा प्रॉपरली. तो उसके लिए आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? यू विल हैव टू गो फॉर द डीप टिलेज. So for that purpose, when you want to grow deep rooted crop, for that purpose deep tillage is done, right? Then we have subsoiling. Now students, again, subsoiling is another type of tillage operation that is done specifically to break any compact layer in the soil. So, कभी-कभी क्या होता है, जो हमारे फील्ड होता है उसमें हम बहुत सारे टिलेज इंप्लीमेंट रन कर रहे हैं. वी आर रनिंग ट्रैक्टर्स, वी आर रनिंग सीड ड्रिल्स एंड व्हाट नॉट, राइट? उससे क्या होता है कि आपकी जो सॉइल है वो धीरे धीरे कॉम्पैक्ट होने लग जाती है. और जो आपकी सब सॉइल, देखो ऊपर वाली सरफेस को आप डिस्टर्ब करते हो ड्यू टू सर्टेन ऑपरेशन दैट यू आर डूइंग, राइट? ऑल द इंटरकल्चर ऑपरेशन दैट यू आर डूइंग इन बिटवीन द क्रॉप. बट जो लोअर लेयर है, जो आपकी सब सरफेस लेयर होती है सॉइल की, वो धीरे धीरे कॉम्पैक्ट हो जाती है. और वो इतनी कॉम्पैक्ट हो जाती है कि वहां से जो रूट का पेनिट्रेशन है, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. इवन आपका जो वाटर पेनिट्रेशन है टू द ग्राउंड वाटर, वो भी नहीं हो पाता है, राइट? तो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी नीड टू ब्रेक दिस कॉम्पैक्ट लेयर, ताकि आपकी रूट इजिली ग्रो कर पाए, वाटर इजिली इनफिल्ट्रेट कर पाए इन द सॉइल, राइट? सो फॉर दैट पर्पज दिस सबसॉइलिंग इज डन. क्लियर? नेक्स्ट वी हैव इज ईयर राउंड टिलेज. ईयर राउंड टिलेज क्या होता है कि व्हेन you are doing tillage operation during the growing season as well as in the off season. So year round tillage, students, is a practice which is done in dryland areas mostly. ठीक है, dryland areas में ज़्यादातर year round tillage किया जाता है, क्योंकि dryland areas में moisture is the problem, right? Soil moisture is a limitation. So here, whenever we are getting any rainfall, we need to conserve that moisture. And in order to do that, to do so, what is done? Year round tillage is done. तो आप जब क्रॉप ग्रो कर रहे हो तब तो टिलेज करोगे ही, राइट? बट आपने हार्वेस्ट कर दी क्रॉप, उसके बाद जो आपकी सॉइल होती है बहुत कॉम्पैक्ट रहती है, और उसके बाद अगर रेन हो गई देन वो रेन आप स्टोर नहीं कर पाओगे, बिकॉज वो इनफिल्ट्रेट नहीं हो पाएगी सॉइल में. सो यू विल हैव टू ओपन अप द लैंड अगेन आफ्टर हार्वेस्टिंग. सो इफ देयर इज एनी रेनफॉल दैट विल गेट स्टोर्ड इनटू द सॉइल, एंड आपकी जो सक्सीड और कमिंग क्रॉप है, सक्सीडिंग क्रॉप है, उसके लिए मॉइस्चर रहे सॉइल में, राइट? Okay, coming to blind tillage. Now students, again this is a special type of tillage जो किया जाता है after you have sown the seed. ठीक है, आपने seed sow कर लिया है, crop has emerged, या तो emerge हो गई है crop या before emergence of the crop. तो क्या होता है कि जब आपने field preparation की, right, you have placed the seed into the field, right? Seed का जो germination है, it will take some time, it will take a week, it will take 10 days, 15 days, right? तो उस time duration में कुछ वीड्स बीच में ग्रो कर सकते हैं, कुछ अनवांटेड प्लांट्स बीच में ग्रो कर सकते हैं. तो वी नीड टू रिमूव ऑल दोज थिंग. फॉर दैट ब्लाइंड टिलेज इज डन. अब ब्लाइंड टिलेज का जो पर्पस होता है वो होता है टू क्लियर द फील्ड, टू रिमूव ऑल द एक्स्ट्रा वीड. तो जब आपने सीड सो कर लिया है उसके बाद आप ब्लाइंड टिलेज करते हो. या तो क्या होता है कि आपने सीड सो कर दिया एंड आपका जो सीड है दैट हैज इमर्ज्ड आउट ऑफ द सॉइल, बट अभी बहुत इनिशियल स्टेजेस पे है, तब भी ये ब्लाइंड टिलेज किया जाता है ओवर द क्रॉप, राइट? आफ्टर द इमर्जेंस ऑल्सो ब्लाइंड टिलेज इज डन एंड द ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू रिमूव वीड. बट इसका डिसएडवांटेज ये होता है कि जब सीड इमर्ज हो गया है तो कभी कभी देयर कैन बी सम डैमेज टू द क्रॉप, राइट? That is your blind tillage. Then we have a dry tillage. Dry tillage is, student, basically again the purpose is to do the tillage operation. So क्या होता है कि when there is a rainfall, right, so there is a certain amount of water in the soil, right? उसके बाद tillage operation किया जाता है so that आप जो next crop है उसको grow कर सको. ठीक है, तो this is known as dry tillage, right? Okay, I hope it's clear. अगर कोई confusion है you can ask me and we can discuss this. So coming to the question, a farmer notices stunted root growth in sugarcane crop due to highly compacted layer. ठीक है, अब ये बोल रहा है कि compacted layer को break करने के लिए कौन सी हमें tillage operation करनी है, then that will be subsoiling. ठीक है, I have already told you कि subsoiling क्या होती है, what is the objective of subsoiling. Okay students, coming to the next question, in a zero tillage farming system, how is the critical task of pre-sowing weed management primarily achieved without mechanical soil disturbance? तो ये बोल रहा है कि आप जब आप जीरो टिलेज करते हो, राइट? सो जीरो टिलेज क्या होता है स्टूडेंट्स, कि आप यहाँ पे कोई भी टिलेज ऑपरेशन नहीं करते हो. यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग द लैंड फॉर द कमिंग क्रॉप. व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, यू आर जस्ट डायरेक्टली ब्रॉडकास्टिंग द सीड ऑन द लैंड, और यू आर जस्ट ओपनिंग द लैंड वेयर यू वांट टू सो द सीड. ठीक है, आपने यहाँ पे कोई भी टिलेज ऑपरेशन नहीं करना है, आपने कोई भी इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं यूज करना है, क्योंकि यही कंसेप्ट है आपका जीरो टिलेज का. ठीक है, जीरो टिलेज बोला जाता है या नो टिल फार्मिंग भी बोला जाता है इसको. तो ये क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछ रहा है कि अगर हम टिलेज ऑपरेशन ना करें, क्योंकि टिलेज ऑपरेशन का एक ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है कि जितने भी प्री एग्जिस्टिंग वीड्स है या वेजिटेशन है उसको सप्रेस करना, उसको किल करना. तो जीरो टिलेज में ये कैसे पॉसिबल है, दैट इज व्हाट इट इज आस्किंग टू यू, कि कैसे हम उस चीज को अचीव करते हैं व्हेन वी हैव टू डू नो टिलेज ऑपरेशन. योर ऑप्शंस आर गिवन, सो कैन एनीबडी गिव मी द राइट आंसर for this? Okay, very good Aditya, I can see right answers coming. Very good, answer will be option E. So students, यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि यहाँ पे आप कुछ herbicides का यूज करते हो. What is herbicides or weedicides? Basically these are the chemicals which kill the plants that are there in the field. ठीक है, तो आपने क्या करना है, सीड सोइंग से पहले whatever is covering your field, whatever vegetation is covering your field, आप कुछ herbicide स्प्रे करोगे. ठीक है, जैसे कि पैराक्वाड, ग्लाइफोसेट, so that जो वो वीड प्लांट्स हैं वो किल हो जाए, राइट? यू कैन किल देम थ्रू द हर्बिसाइड एंड उसके बाद आप सीड सोइंग कर सकते हो. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे अगर हम टिलेज नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर कंट्रोलिंग वीड बाय एप्लीकेशन ऑफ सम हर्बिसाइड. क्लियर? सो आई होप व्हाट इज जीरो टिलेज और कैसे ये कंट्रोल होता है, इट इज ऑल्सो क्लियर. नाउ कमिंग टू 13 क्वेश्चन. सो ओके, so students, sometimes such question is also asked to you in your examination ki okay, you have to tell me ki which of the following crop title correctly match with the corresponding plant. So you have king of cereals, queen of cereals, thing like that. तो इस तरीके का भी क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था, एंड आई थिंक इन 2025 या 24 में आपको क्वीन ऑफ स्पाइसेस पूछा गया था, राइट? So right now you have the options here. Please do read the options and give me the answer. ठीक है, किंग ऑफ सीरियल्स मेज, पुअर मैंस मीट sorghum, फेमाइन रिजर्व मिलेट, ड्रोसोफिला ऑफ क्रॉप प्लांट सोयाबीन, व्हाइट गोल्ड ऑफ अमेरिका जूट. इसमें से कौन सा करेक्ट ऑप्शन है, कौन सा करेक्ट मैच है, यू हैव टू टेल मी. ठीक है, तो दिस क्वेश्चन आई हैव केप्ट सो दैट आप प्लीज इस तरीके की चीजों को भी एक बार कवर कर लें, राइट? डू नॉट स्किप सच थिंग्स. ऐसे भी क्वेश्चन कभी कभी पूछे जाते हैं. ठीक है, एनीबडी? ओके, वेरी गुड अमन. ठीक है, सो आंसर हियर विल बी ऑप्शन सी स्टूडेंट्स. ठीक है, फेमाइन रिजर्व बोला जाता है मिलेट्स को. क्यों बोला जाता है फेमाइन रिजर्व? कैन एनीबडी गिव मी द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन? ठीक है, आप इसके पीछे की रीजनिंग बता सकते हो. ठीक है, बाय देन आई विल टेल यू और चीजों का व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर, राइट? सो स्टूडेंट्स, मिलेट्स आर नोन एज फेमाइन रिजर्व, दैट वी हैव अंडरस्टूड, वो करेक्ट है. मेज को ड्रोसोफिला ऑफ क्रॉप प्लांट कहा जाता है. क्यों कहा जाता है? बिकॉज मेज इज अ क्रॉप प्लांट जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा एग्रीकल्चर स्टडी या साइंटिफिक स्टडी की जाती है. तो ड्रोसोफिला एनिमल किंगडम में, लाइक ड्रोसोफिला इज अ इंसेक्ट जिसपे बहुत ज्यादा जेनेटिक काम हुआ है. सिमिलरली प्लांट्स के केसेस में मेज इज अ क्रॉप प्लांट जहाँ पे काफी सारा जेनेटिक वर्क हुआ है, राइट? इसीलिए मेज को ड्रोसोफिला ऑफ क्रॉप प्लांट कहा जाता है. सोयाबीन को पुअर मैंस मीट इसीलिए कहा जाता है क्योंकि सोयाबीन इज रिच इन प्रोटीन. ओके, सो हाईएस्ट कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ प्रोटीन इज फाउंड इन सोयाबीन, इसीलिए आपके सोयाबीन को पुअर मैंस मीट कहा जाता है. वीट को किंग ऑफ सीरियल्स कहा जाता है. ऑब्वियसली वीट बहुत ज्यादा कंज्यूम होता है, इसको किंग ऑफ सीरियल्स बोला जाता है. कॉटन को बोला जाता है व्हाइट गोल्ड ऑफ अमेरिका, राइट? ओके, very good Aditya and Rajakumar, right? Because it can be grown in drought condition, right? Very good. तो it is called famine reserve. देखो famine कब आता है, अकाल कब पड़ता है एग्रीकल्चर में? जब पानी की कमी हो जाती है, राइट? जब ड्रॉट हो जाता है, तो उस टाइम पे वी कैन नॉट ग्रो क्रॉप्स लाइक राइस, व्हीट. तो हम उस टाइम पे किस तरीके की क्रॉप को ग्रो कर सकते हैं? वी कैन ग्रो मिलेट्स, जो कि बहुत बेयर मिनिमम वाटर में भी ग्रो इजीली हो जाती है. सो इसीलिए मिलेट्स को फेमाइन रिजर्व्स कहा जाता है. क्लियर? Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now I have two questions for you. You have to solve these questions and do let me know the answer in the comment section. Okay, I want your answers in the comment section, not in the chat section. So, question is, in dryland farming, a specific spatial arrangement is sometimes utilized where crops are planted in two adjacent rows, while the third row is intentionally left empty. What is the primary objective of paired row crops system? This is the first question for you. And next question is, agronomy encompasses various scientific practices aimed at optimizing farm operation. Which of the following represent a core activity within the scope of agronomic management? ठीक है, so these two questions are for you for the homework, you can say, and आपको इसका आंसर मुझे comment section में बताना है, right? And please do let me know how was the session. Did you liked it or not? If you have any kind of feedback, please do let me know. ठीक है, चलो. Now, before I end, I would like to tell you about our demo course. So we have 2-day demo course. अगर आप देखना चाहते हो how do we provide our content in our main course, for that you can just once avail this demo course for 1 rupee. 2 दिन के लिए आप ये demo course अपने पास रख सकते हो. ये इसकी वैलिडिटी होगी 2 दिन तक, और आप 2 दिन में देख सकते हो अच्छे से कि हम कैसे कैसे कंटेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, and accordingly you can make a decision for yourself whether you want to purchase our main course or not, right? So yes, with this we have come to the end of the session. Now if anybody has any question, please let me know, otherwise I'll end the class now. ठीक है, कोई डाउट, कोई क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज लेट मी नो. Any feedback you want to give or anything you want from these classes, any additional things you want, any additional topic, you can kindly suggest. Okay, thank you so much Sandeep for the feedback, and I'm glad that okay, these classes are helpful for you, right? Yes, Ansh, I think Ansh Prakash has asked for playlist of ARD. Yeah, we have a separate ARD static playlist, right? So there are multiple videos where we have covered all the topics and in different static series, so you can just watch them, right? If you are doing the self preparation, you want the video lecture series, so you can just go to the EduTap's ARD static playlist. Just watch all the lectures. Most of your content will be covered for phase 1. Anything else anybody want to ask? You're welcome, Aditya. Okay, so I don't think we have any queries left, right? And glad that you have understood everything and there is no doubt. So yes, we'll meet in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow I'll be taking the next class on farming system, right? Okay. ठीक है. Sachin has asked a question regarding practice question for descriptive answer writing. See, for practice question, what you can do, Sachin, like we have provided you the guidebook of NABARD grade exam. So there you get all the previous year questions, right? So you can just see what kind of questions were asked in the examination. First, practice all the PYQs. And after that, whatever is given in your syllabus, right? Whatever topic is given in your syllabus, regarding that topic, see what can be the possible questions asked to you. You can use AI tool for that. Okay, you can just upload your syllabus on AI and ask AI to make 10 to 15 descriptive questions for you from that particular syllabus based on exam requirement. NABARD में जिस तरीके से पूछे जाते हैं, you can give some kind of previous examples, and accordingly you can frame out 10 to 15, and I would say 20, as many as question you want for the descriptive. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. You're welcome, Ansh Prakash, and thank you so much for the feedback. You're welcome, Sandeep. And Sachin, I don't think you have any further query, right? Okay, I hope that's all. And if you have any query, I'll be live tomorrow as well, so you can ask me tomorrow as well.